Hamilton Distillery also distills the Yellow Spot. Now this was originally a Mitchell and Sons whiskey, and they have green spot, yellow spot, red spot. So I think green spot's about 10 years old, the yellow spot's 12 years, and the red spot is 15. And of course I've got the 15 and I've got the yellow spot. So these are single pot, they're triple distilled. They do have grain, as does the Black Pearl, has a little bit of grain whiskey in it. This is, as I mentioned, triple distilled, more of a traditional Irish whiskey. Very popular in Ireland and also quite popular around the world. So welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. And Yellow Spot, Mitchell and Sons, old family, 7 generations, probably one of the last of the independents in Ireland. And the story behind their whiskey is they used to store there when they got Jamesons to sell them the new spirit. They would store it in their wine casks because these were wine merchants. And when they got into whiskey selling, they wanted to have a really good product, so they would buy the Jameson whiskey and they would store it underground, pretty much under the cobble streets of Dublin, in places they could find where they could just let it age. And what they would do is they would mark it with a painted spot on the cask to identify the age. And yellow spot, 12 years. Blue, I believe, was 7. Green, I think, was 10. And they now relaunched the red, which is 15. Anyways, let's give it the nose. We'll see what... very popular around the world, yellow spot. Green spot probably the most popular. So the story behind this finish here, what is unique about this finish, a little different than the others, is that it is it's got three casks that they finish it in. So they're finishing it in American bourbon. Of course, that's what it's matured in, is American bourbon. And then of course it goes to Spanish sherry butts, and then it's also got Spanish Malaga casks as well that it's finished in. So now the latter two, of course, are what Mitchell uses a lot. When they bring in their fortified wines, that is what they've traditionally used. And the Malaga casks are actually a mix of Pedro Ximénez and Muscatel grapes, and of course from the Spanish city of Malaga. But anyways, that's a little bit of tidbits there for you. This is aged at 46%. And non-chill filtered, no coloring. Right off the bat, we're getting a little bit of wood, caramel, vanilla, and some honeysuckle. Fresh apricots, peaches, maybe even some cherries. But we are getting the wood. So one thing I noticed about yellow spot, the wood does kind of come out. So you get the nutmeg, you get a little bit of a white pepper, some cloves, a little bit of tea, green tea, and I think with the wood and all that, it's the spice, eh? Of course, that's the European oak. I had this the other day. It was just a wee bit of what I thought was smelly socks, but it's just something that goes through my nose, goes by me. Goes by pretty fast, eh? Yeah, lots of sweet notes, anyways, with the spices there. So let's do the palate. very sweet, but mixed with the spices. Wood, cloves, and the pepper, more of a black pepper now. Caramel, vanilla, honey, more pepper, cherries. Pretty much consistent with the nose, eh? The higher ABV definitely gives you a little bit of a coating on the tongue there. So, you know, this is probably going to be at least a medium finish on it there. Yeah, kind of a bit of a dry, sort of semi-dry finish on it there. So, but sweet notes mixed with the wood, the spices, and certainly the caramels there, vanilla caramel. So we'll try the finish. Let's go for the finish. The wood really comes out now, but with it comes the cinnamon, nutmeg, pepper, and the sweet stuff, dried apricots, with dried fruits, dried apricots, dried, the light colored fruits. So there was a little bit, just getting a little bit of that spice I'm identifying. It's probably cinnamon is what I'm identifying. Not a huge bite, but a little more of a bite than, let's say, redbreast with the wood, eh? But nice, very nice. Maybe a little bit of anisey, wee bit of licorice, but it does have a good finish on it. So medium to long finish on it, and I'm going to put a little water in this. Let's see what the water does. So one of the things that I've been trying to get in the habit of doing is I'm learning how much water to put in. And I usually look at the ABV, and it gives me a pretty good idea of what we want to do. So oh yeah, and it even opens up the nose here. Lots of sweet stuff going on with the spices. I almost smell the licorice now. Yeah. And a little bit of I'm getting a little bit of the wood, the tannins. So much. Oh, sweet. Really sweeten it up. Not as much of a bite now, for sure. And I only put a few drops in. So I'm not getting, there's no astringency for the wood there. A little bit of water helps this actually. And because the wood is there, but it's nice. And what I was sort of thinking of those cinnamon notes there. I think it was more just interesting, kind of like something between a licorice. If you had cinnamon licorice, that's what it would be. It's kind of unique. Maybe that's the Malaga Cask. But I'm getting a few cherries, and back to the little bit brighter fruits there than the dried peaches, the dried the dried pears and all that stuff. I'm getting more of the fresh stuff right now. So yeah, I'm tasting the sherry is what I'm tasting, but it's bringing it out. There's a few interesting spices there. I thought there was the aniseed, licorice, yeah, maybe a slight bit of coffee in the background there too. But yeah, try the finish now. Yeah, more sweet. Still, very like it's clean. It doesn't. It's not giving me a bite. I was getting a bite earlier, and the water seems to have smoothed it out. So I'm pretty sure that's the wood that I was tasting. So, anyways, with water, I actually seemed to smarten it up a little bit there. This is a good whiskey. I'm gonna give this an 85. You can see I have drank a little bit, so it is a go-to whiskey for me, and it does seem to have a little longer finish than the Redbreast, just a slight bit longer. So, but I think those of you that are you like a little bit more wood, maybe you won't use as much water. Those of you who are not much into the wood in that, I would put a little bit of water in it, because the wood does come through, and maybe it's the Malaga cask, and then again maybe it's something I ate. I don't know, but I just noticed the wood a bit more, and not knocking it. It's a delightful drink. So thanks for coming, and I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently, do not drink and drive. Until the next time. So much.